Hey guys, we are going to work in our book and move on to lesson 6. But before we do that, I want to go over the quiz that we took a really long time ago because I think it'll be a nice refresher for what we're going to go into on lesson 6. So, first question for the level 1. If you can, get out your quiz and follow along, or just get out a separate sheet of paper and do this on a separate sheet of paper. So, number 1 says solve the linear equation x plus 3 plus x minus 8 plus x equals 55. So, the first thing we want to do is combine like terms. So, that means I want all my x's on one side and all of the numbers on the other. So, if we look at this, I've got 1, 2, 3x plus 3 minus 8 is equal to 55. If I keep combining terms, I've got 3x minus 5 is equal to 55. Now, if you made a mistake, this is most likely where it was. We got to be careful because this 5 is actually a negative. So that means we have to add 5 to both sides. And when we do that, we're going to get 3x is equal to 60. The 3 and the x are connected to each other. So that means we cannot just add or subtract. We have to divide both sides by 3. And when we do that, x gives us 20. So, this is our first step. So, in our first step, what we used was the commutative property of addition and subtraction. Let's go on to number 2. Solve the linear equation 1/4 x plus 11 equals x. State the property that justifies your first step and why you chose it. So, I've got 1/4 x plus 11 equals x. Now, that 1/4 really freaked a lot of you out, and I know myself and Mrs. Ritter kept telling you, if you don't like the fractions, just turn it into a decimal. So the way you do that is you're going to take this fraction, and a fraction is basically just a division problem. So we're going to do 1 divided by 4 to get 0.25. So now instead of working with the number 1/4, we're going to work with the number 0.25. So I've got 0.25x plus 11 equals x. So what we need to do now is subtract 0.25x from both sides. But all we have over here is this x. How many x's are right there? Well, technically there's just one x. So 0.25 subtracted from 1, we're going to end up with 11 is equal to 0.75x. Now again, we want to get the x on its own. So we need to divide both sides by 0.75. And when we do that, we're going to get 11 divided by 0.75 is equal to 14.66. So x is equal to 14.66 repeated. Now, if you used the fraction version, 1/4, you should have gotten 14 2/3. Either of those answers are completely acceptable. Okay, let's go to the first level 3 question. This one, a lot of you were still able to tell me that her error was right here. So I want to, just like we did with number 1, combine like terms. So I'm going to rewrite this, I've got 2x minus 3 minus 9x is equal to 14 plus x minus 1. I am going to combine the terms on the left. So I'm going to have negative 3 minus 7x is equal to 13 plus x. Now, we just got to get all of the x's on one side and all of the numbers on one side. So I am going to move my 7x. So we have to add 7x to both sides now. So now I've got negative 3 is equal to 13 plus 8x. Now I want to move my 13 to the other side. I'm going to subtract it because this is positive. If there's not a minus sign in front of it, you can't assume it's positive. So I will have negative 16 is equal to 8x. Divide both sides by the 8, and we'll have x is equal to negative 2. Alright, moving on. Level 3. So, this one wasn't hard either, but a lot of you forgot what supplement means. So, I've got angle 1 and angle 2. An angle measures 17 more than 3 times a number. So, this is angle 1. And it's going to be 17 plus 3 times a number. Its supplement is 3 more than 7 times the number. So now I've got is equal to 3 plus 7 times a number. So, supplement. What does supplement mean? I drew this picture on the board for you, and you guys had to decide. I'm going to call this angle A, B, C, and D. Is a supplementary angle A and B, or is the supplementary angle A and D? And that's where the vocab came in. You had to think back to your vocab. So, a supplementary angle is A and B. So, that means we're going to add these two together and set them equal to 180. So now I've got 17 plus 3x. This is my angle 1. Plus 3 plus 3 plus 7x is equal to 180. And this is my angle 2. So now, just like always, we're going to combine like terms. So if I look at my x's, I have 3x plus 7x, so I've got 10x. Then I've got 3 plus 17 plus 20 is equal to 180. Now it's just a simple two-step equation. We're going to subtract 20 from both sides. And now we will have 10x is equal to 160. To get the x by itself, we have to divide by 10. So x is equal to 16. This is not our final answer. We need to figure out what the angle measures are. So now we gotta plug 16 back into where we see the x's. So I'm gonna rewrite them again down here. Angle 1 was 3x plus 17. So that means angle 1, we're gonna do 3 times 16 plus 17. And when you do that math, you're gonna end up with 65. Angle 2 was 7x plus 3. So that means we've got 7 times 16 plus 3. And when you do that math, you get 115. How do we know we're right? Well, we should know angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180. Is 65 plus 115 equal to 180? Yes, it is. So we know that 16 is correct. Okay,